Wait, so we're in the Fandom Collective tonight?
Yep.
All right, I was over their own channel.
Wow, I'm nervous.
Get off that nervous drink, bro.
I'm more of a moderate Harry Potter-ish person. I don't know if I'd say I'm a fan, but I do, and I did enjoy the stuff growing up. And there is some interesting story stuff that I like with it. These guys are like Harry Potter fanatics.
Mary has groomed me.
I groomed him like Ezra Miller grooms 12-year-olds.
Did you want to fight? Is that the deal?
Wow, we went there.
Ooh, that's fresh. That's a fresh.
Wow, that is a fresh take.
As a kid, I was just an avid reader. Like I was addicted to the written word, and I read every book I could get my hands on. But my friend Heather, she had the books, is I think where I read the first one. I think she let me borrow the first one, and then it was just, you know, hooked after that. So, and actually my mom was super, super, super religious. So the first time that I read through the books, it had to be kind of hush hush. She's still super religious, but
yeah, she was like, she did not want you to read those devil books. Right?
No, it would have been a no-go initially. She loosened up a lot more, and then as I got older, I actually introduced her to them, and she's like, "These are really good." And I was like, "Yeah, imagine if I'd shown you a few years ago, you'd have burned them."
No demons in this one. Nope.
Yeah.
Well, I think the important distinction for parents, I'm gonna let you finish.
I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish.
At least in the case that I can relate with my own parents, specifically my mother, is the guiding principle that there is no greater power than love.
Right.
And
that is definitely the underlying
that helped
message of Harry Potter, is that, you know, in fact, that's his, well, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Harry Potter, I don't know what the hell's wrong with you.
I think you can just, I think we've crossed over the rule of spoilers.
That's kind of like the whole Vader is Luke's father thing. At this point, if you,
it's like as old as I am, so that's fine. 28-ish.
Yeah, the whole shtick is love is the greatest magic of all, and that it is indeed magical and wondrous and unfathomable, and it can guide you and protect you, and it gives you advantages in life that you never really truly realized, and that you can't really fathom the depths of how love can impact your life. And so it's actually quite a beautiful story, and there's a reason it speaks to people of all ages. While admittedly it is a children's story, certainly it's also really good for adults, fun for adults. There's a reason adults still are drawn to it.
So you guys have like houses and sorting, and you got like wand things or something, and patroners.
Patroners.
I don't.
No, that's Patron.
So what before I take my quiz that determines that, Mary, what is your Patronus?
My Patronus is a Thestral. I actually have one of the rarest Patronuses that you can get. But yeah, I have a Thestral for a Patronus, and it's a Thestral is like an omen of death, but they're quite loyal creatures.
Isn't that what the dog is?
The dog? What?
And the third one, they're like, the black dog thing is like an omen of death.
That's an animagus.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a person who can turn into an animal at will. Thestrals
Isn't
in
that
the
a
fifth
spell
one.
that they practice? Or no, they turned cups into animal. Or no, he did that on accident.
Water
No, that's transfiguration.
Transfiguration.
Okay.
But people who are adept at transfiguration can turn things from one thing to another, and so animals are quite often involved in that process. So you're not completely off.
That's good. And what about yours, Andrew?
You remember your Patronus, don't you, Andrew? What is it?
I have a rare one myself.
Oh, yeah.
Is it like a cow?
No. Actually, it's a dragon.
Dragon, okay.
Yeah.
Is there like a power scaling level on, like, you know, if you're
It's actually it's got more to a degree. When Mary first really kind of lit the fire under me, as it were, for getting into Harry Potter on a far deeper level, the first thing I did was do a deep dive into lore history of very specific things. So I start with like history of various houses, you know, the founder of the houses, history and lore of Patronuses and of the various wands, because these are the things that, you know, you're kind of first introduced to on wizardingworld.com when you kind of create your passport. And it's going to be fun to see you do so here live.
Oh, yeah.
I'm actually looking forward to that. That really excites me. I get excited for that kind of fun stuff. But while there is a kind of a power scaling when it comes to the different types of Patronuses, it really has a lot more to do with just personality and who and how somebody is at their core, rather than just like, hey, a wolf Patronus is more powerful than a mouse Patronus. In fact, the most famous Patronus in Wizarding World history was actually a mouse.
I was waiting for you to bring that up. I was
waiting.
I was
going to be like if there was like a weasel versus a dragon.
Don't let me down. No fear. No retreat.
It has more to do with the wizard itself, and it's more about their personality.
That makes sense.
Andrew brings up the mouse one all the time, but I love a more book centric explanation where Luna Lovegood's Patronus is a rabbit, and right there towards the end of the 7th book, where Harry is just about to be just swallowed whole by this mob of Dementors, Luna comes in and her little hair hops around and bullies them all back, and she's like, "We're with you, Harry," and she just gives him this big morale boost, and it's just this little bunny fucking these Dementors up. And
so it's pretty much Monty Python.
Oh yeah,
with you know, oh, run away.
Yeah, the freaking rabbit of death.
Getting their throats and killing them.
I didn't even think of that. Well, she gets joined a second later by the others. Like I think the terrier of Ron Weasley's joins in, but initially it's just Luna jumping in and her little bunny rabbits hopping around and fucking up some Dementors. And so it really isn't the size of the Patronus; it's the heart of the person casting it.
So. Excited! House first.
We're gonna get sorted. Oh wait, can we make our predictions? Can we make our predictions? I predict you will either be in Gryffindor or Hufflepuff, and I tend to lean more towards Hufflepuff, but I could totally see you going into Gryffindor.
You know, I'm actually I'm half with you, Mary. I think that Hufflepuff is a potential, but I think the other potential is actually Ravenclaw, because Rookie is very analytical.
He is. And highly creative. And Ravenclaws are known for being creative. But I've also heard him rap and get feisty. And Rookie's feistier than people realize. So
you're not wrong.
We shall see what the end result is.
I would welcome you into Ravenclaw, Rookie. I would welcome you with open arms into Ravenclaw. So please, I'm going to pour a shot right now to prepare myself for your sorting. It's called a sorting process, okay?
Yes.
So people call it placement, but this is your sorting, okay? So,
okay, what are you most looking forward to learning at Hogwarts?
All about magical creatures and how to befriend / care for them. Flying on a broomstick, no, it's kind of lame. Apparition and dispiration, being able to materialize. Teleportation would be interesting.
It's basically teleportation, yeah.
Secrets about the castle. I don't really care specifically. Transfiguration. That gets messed up, man. I don't want to turn into a freaking teacup rat thing. Screw that. Hexes and jinxes. That gets into reality too much. Every area of magic I can. Being a jack of all trades isn't that interesting to me here. I'm gonna do the teleportation stuff.
Cats, toads, or owls?
You gotta pick a pet.
You would take, yeah.
A pet that I would take?
Yeah.
I got my Chica right here as a cat, but an owl would be unique as shit.
I feel like as far as uses in the wizarding thing, I assume an owl would be more ideal.
An owl delivers the mail. Cats are quite prone to sniffing shit out, so it really depends.
What's a toad most useful for?
You know, toads get a lot of work. Like, so, for example, Trevor used his toad in potions class a few times. So they're quite helpful in terms of, like, if you need to bring your own animal, and there's something that you need to have rapport or trust for, transfiguration or during a potions where there's something that may need to be a little bit more reliant on you. There can be, and you could do this, you could say the same for cats. But often people use their own pets in these classes instead of using a borrowed one. And one could argue that the relational aspect and the rapport built between the two would bolster any magical effects made.
Here's an interesting question for you, Mary. We'll piggyback on this topic here for a quick second before Rookie makes his decision. Given what you just said about the whole trust aspect with regards to bringing your pet into various classrooms to utilize during studies and things like that, why are dogs not a thing?
I can't answer that without making a sort of fourth wall breaking kind of observation, which is really just that I think it probably boils down to cats are more commonly associated with witches. And that's why
fair.
she went with it. There's, as far as I know, there's been, now that's not to say that there isn't a magical version of dogs in the magical world. So like
All dogs are magical.
Listen, they have a fixation on wolves and other stuff, and or like the cursed dog, and it's like they have dogs in it quite a bit. So maybe they wanted a clearer distinction instead of having dogs being more common in their world. I would imagine, as far as like what J.K. Rowling was maybe thinking of when creating it.
Dogs are present. Fang is Hagrid's dog. He's a big old mastiff. Bull mastiff.
He's a big old baby.
Oh yeah. Just drools. He's the drooler.
It's not that dogs aren't, present in Harry Potter. It's just that, cats tend to be more of a familiar type thing. So
I gotcha.
That's fair.
When you're talking about the toad, it just made me think of Adam from the Power Rangers movie where he's like, "I'm a frog." And she's like, "Oh no, it's fine. It's a good animal to have for Zord. It's cool."
Adam? Adam, what's wrong?
I'm a frog.
Yes, a frog. Like the one you kissed to get a handsome prince.
Yeah,
Look, nothing's as cool as having a dragon for a Zord. Though a T-Rex is fairly close, and a falcon is also pretty close.
I guess I'll do a cat just because I'm more familiar with them. Ginger cat.
You get to choose the type of cat now.
There's
as well.
quite a few types as well.
I just love that it starts with ginger cat.
And keep in mind, dogs also have like a magical form. There's so the cats have the I think it's called the nixes, and then the dogs have like a crup, and the crups have like two tails, and they're like a magical dog. So there's lots of like animals that have a magical counterpart.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's not that there isn't a magical version of the dog. It's just not particularly approved at Hogwarts.
Instrument most pleases your ear: piano, drum, violin, or the trumpet. I mean, depending on the context, all of them can sound fine. Like for triumphant stuff, I think trumpet is good. For getting kind of serious, dramatic, violin's pretty good. For calming, I would say piano. I'm gonna go with the violin. Which of these would?
I picked the violin too, by the way, just so you know.
Okay, I feel like violin can go into intense, but also chill, kind of a different
Not
taste
Nix,
there.
Neasel. Sorry, my brain farted. Neasel, not a Nix. Sorry.
Oh.
Correction.
Which of the following would you most hate people to call you? Ignorant. Is there fatty on here? Just kidding. Selfish.
Wow.
Ordinary. Cowardly. Ordinary, cowardly, selfish, ignorant.
That's a lot of little choices there that are ones you don't really want to be called at all. Selfish, cowardly. I feel like that always depends on context, especially. Ordinary, that's something everybody attempts to change. Selfish, people do like to do things for themselves. That doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. Ignorant, that'd be annoying.
No coward's soul is mine.
Mm-hmm. Ignorance. Yeah, but ignorance sometimes you're not aware of things, kind of the point. Cowardly is kind of more of the choice, I guess, so.
I guess I would hate to be called cowardly.
See what I mean?
Yeah, I see you. I see you.
You and two friends need to cross a bridge guarded by a river troll who insists on fighting one of you before he will let all of you pass. Do you volunteer to fight? Attempt to confuse the troll into... God, they have really specific answers here. Into letting all 3 of you pass without fighting. Suggest that all 3 of you should fight without telling the troll. Suggest drawing lots to decide which of you will fight. I will not do the last one. That sounds too lame. Suggest that all 3 of you should fight. I don't know, because if the troll has some type of sense of honor, that'd be kind of messed up to...
He's a troll.
Hey.
Trolls are stupid. Trolls are really stupid. If
Well,
that helps you at all in the
It can't even spell
still,
honor.
But it's still like, I don't know. It'd be kind of dumb. See, in my head, I'm like, why would we need to cross a bridge? Okay, but if we're in that situation somehow, suggest that all 3 fight the troll. I don't know how it would go based on the movie. I don't know what they mean. I'm imagining a fist fight, but I guess they assume a wizard fight.
It means
you can assume with your
it means you would forego the honor, having the decency to play fair, and you would just basically you'd cheat.
Right. Yeah, I can see it's what they were going for. Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's not really fair.
But it's a troll, so who's he gonna tell?
Right, but I mean, if you have your own moral set, it doesn't matter what they believe. It's more what you believe
exactly.
Anyway.
So that comes down to you.
Attempt to confuse the troll. Yeah, I mean, I guess based on how they're stupid, you could probably do that. Like, hey, here's a candy bar. Here you go. Isn't that what they did in the Goonies?
I've only seen it once.
I've only seen it once, and it was years ago.
Usually I'm surrounded by Goonies fans.
Today you're surrounded.
If I could fight, if I wasn't as much of a fatty, I'd probably fight. But yeah, I guess I'll go with confuse them.
Hey, first of all, stop that. Second of all, it's all wand work. So we're not talking about brandishing a sword. We're talking about whipping your wand around. Right?
Okay, well, still. Eeny, meeny, miny, tails. Okay. All right. The sorting hat is ready to make my decision. I'm not drum rolling. And bing.
I knew it.
Gryffindor. All right.
Okay. Wow.
Hail Gryffindor.
I'm Gryffindor.
So
All right. I'm a Griffin dude. All right. Not bad.
Yes, sir.
Excellent.
All right.
And
now
something you should be proud of. Gryffindors. I'm going to be honest with you. I can't stand Slytherins, but after Hufflepuffs, like Gryffindors are like they're the next. I get along with Hufflepuffs because I think they're usually like super sweet people and very
Hufflepuffs are pretty amicable and get along with everybody.
But like I genuinely like Gryffindors insofar as like sometimes they can be a little like headstrong and sometimes they can run into shit, but you can always rely on them in a pinch.
the Patronus is kind of a positive force, a projection of the very things. Hey, it's covering my thing. Okay, I guess that went away. Discover your patrons, your Patronus. You can only discover your thingy. Okay.
You can only discover your thingy? That's obscene.
Yeah. Relax. Think of... Okay. Never mind. I imagine there's like sound effects going...
Now, yeah. You won't have forever to choose these. You do have to choose them fairly quickly.
Serve, protect, seek... I don't know the context. Oh, what?
Just pick one.
It's really just supposed to be reactionary.
Yep.
Whatever you connect with fastest.
Okay, if my computer shuts down at all, it's because of this, and then I'll be back quickly enough. Okay, Blade. All right, little thing.
Yeah, you got to think of it as super reactionary.
Uh-huh.
Make or improve. I like that. See, if he'd have said make, he would have been a Ravenclaw. They said improve. Uh-oh.
I might have gone for wood, but I didn't really look at that clearly.
Go with your gut.
Wood and stone.
Just flow with your gut.
Yep. A Patronus is something that connects and relates to your core.
You're close. You're getting close.
Oh, it's supposed to be like browsing around for an animal or something, right?
Holy crap! Raven's Patronus is also a Thestral, huh?
Really?
That makes 3 people I know that have a Patronus.
I didn't want a Thestral. I didn't want a Thestral at all, but I appreciate
You wanted an otter.
it. So man.
An otter. Yeah.
Otters,
I wanted a
common.
wolf, but I won't complain.
Your Patronus is unusual. Ooh, you have an
Ooh,
unusual
okay.
Patronus. Sleek or sharp?
Sharp.
Oh shit!
Very rare. Oh my
It'd be-
gosh.
It'd be like,
Ermigerd!
like a gerbil.
Serenity or
Yeah.
glory?
Glory,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, he's a Ravenclaw.
Serenity's like chilling, which is fine, but
You have a
Oh,
very
my-
rare
I'm getting into
Patronus.
my 30s now, so
Let's see
They're
what
gonna
you
give
get,
This should be
man.
it. Click and drag.
See what you
Okay.
got.
Form the
Drag
Patronus. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you.
Get a rare
yeah.
one.
Is it,
What is it?
Just click and drag.
I don't know where to drag to. Okay.
Wait, there it is. There it is. It's coming.
Here it comes.
A rune spore.
Holy
Wow!
crap!
No, what?
Dude.
The
Think
three-headed
like a
snake
hydra, but without wings.
It's dude,
The-
like
The
legit.
three-headed snake thing.
It's like it's like a three-headed snake, and it's legitimately like genuinely badass. That is so cool.
That is one of the rarest ones possible.
That is so cool.
Wicked, man.
All right. I wonder if it shoots out
Dude.
fire.
I've
That was
I've
fun.
never seen someone get a rune spore.
I've never met anybody else who had a thestral. It's supposed to be like super rare.
Yeah, and I know 3
Hey,
people that
sorry,
have
man,
it.
Jack. I'm sorry,
Got
I
a
didn't
rare
mean
Pokemon.
to
then.
overlook
There
you.
we go.
Hi,
Yeah, you caught a rare Pokemon.
got a rare Pokemon.
Yeah.
Got some rare Pokemon.
The Patronus turned. It was centering back towards Harry. Wait, it's just describing the scene. Yeah,
That's
okay. when I'm reading this, I was like, oh, it's giving information about the thing. But it's like, no. Wait, okay. Now, there's one more thing. The wand.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wand is the last thing.
I have a laurel wand, which is
A what-
honestly,
a
I
what'll?
don't. My wand's wood is made of laurel, so it's like supposed to be super strong against like evil, bad influences and stuff or whatever, which I like that a lot. But you know,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh.
it's not. I think there was something about a crash of Earth. I think was it something about lightning striking? Andrew, do you remember that?
If somebody attempts to, it's either if somebody else attempts to use your wand, or you attempt to use dark magic with it, it causes a lightning strike on the like attempted user. Something
Laurel
like
wands
that.
are sometimes called fickle, but this is unfair. Oh, of course, it freaking goes all the way down here. Laurel wands. It is said that a laurel wand cannot perform a dishonorable act, although in the quest for glory, a not uncommon goal for the best suited to these wands, I have known laurel wands to perform powerful and sometimes lethal magic. Laurel wands are sometimes called fickle, but this is unfair. The laurel wand seems unable to tolerate laziness in a possessor, and it is in such conditions that it is most easily and willingly won away. Otherwise, it will cleave happily to its first match forever, and indeed has the unusual and engaging attribute of issuing a spontaneous lightning strike if another witch or wizard attempts to steal it.
That's a nice little passive ability right there. I like that.
Okay.
Maybe that's what happened today.
Maybe somebody tried using your wand. Huh?
Maybe somebody tried to steal my wand. And that's what
That
happened.
explains everything.
That's fun. I choose to believe that. That's my headcanon from now on. What
All
happened
right,
today? in
that's your
regards
story,
to
and you're
Peter.
sticking to it.
That's what happened today. Lightning struck an
I
evildoer.
was gonna say, that makes more sense after today for you.
Yeah, no kidding.
Okay. Do you most fear fire, darkness, isolation, heights, or small spaces? Man, I guess. I guess small spaces would suck because then it's like you can't adjust yourself. Like that would suck. At least in a fire you can roll around and stuff. Darkness, yeah. Nope. Heights, nah, not too much. Yeah. That'd suck to be like if you ever saw cave divers or something and they're like, in a very, very cramped little cave. Nah. No.
It's traumatizing to me.
Yeah, there are very few things on this planet that I don't even know if fear is the right word, but do not like.
It's like I'd rather not be in that situation. I don't know if I'd call it fear either.
Yeah, small spaces I don't like. Small spaces I don't like, but it's not to the point of like claustrophobia, if that makes sense.
It makes you particular.
Yeah, it's just like it's more I don't want to get stuck, if that's the case.
I don't it's not even that really. It's I don't like not having freedom of movement.
Yeah, exactly. In a chest of magical artifacts, which would you choose? A silver dagger, an ornate mirror, glittering jewel, bound scroll, golden key, dusty bottle, black glove. I guess I'd be curious what's on the scroll, so go with the scroll.
That's a Ravenclaw attribute.
I'd be like, what is that thing?
That's a Ravenclaw attribute right there, sir.
I've got cypress wood with a phoenix core.
Ooh, rare core.
10 3/4 and hard flexibility.
Phoenix cores are the rarest of the 3 cores that Ollivander uses.
Okay. Cool. So that's a neat one.
Yes, very.
Yes.
Would you like to hear what your wand wood means?
Yeah.
So here is the description for a cypress wood wand. Cypress wands are, and to preface this, these descriptions are taken straight off of wizardingworld.com, this same website, and they are written by J.K. Rowling as though they are written by Ollivander himself.
Yeah.
The one who makes all of these wands.
Yeah.
Cypress wands are associated with nobility. The great medieval wand maker, Geraint Ollivander, wrote that he was always honored to match a cypress wand, for he knew he was meeting a witch or wizard who would die a heroic death. Fortunately, in these less bloodthirsty times, the possessors of cypress wands are rarely called upon to lay down their lives, though doubtless many of them would do so if required. Wands of cypress find their soulmates among the brave, the bold, and the self-sacrificing. Those who are unafraid to confront the shadows in their own and others' natures.
All right.
I kind of love that. You're like a freaking flaming Gryffindor over here.
That's a full-fledged Gryffindor if ever there was.
I guess so. Which I never guessed that based on the movies, I guess. I was always confused on how they actually sorted people in the movies, but because he's like, oh, you can just be where you want to as well, sort of. So it's like, oh.
Well, okay, so yes and no. Not that you couldn't, but it was a rare thing. Few people knew about the hat's willingness to take your choice into account, right? Mm-hmm. So it wasn't something that many people accessed because not many people tested that particular. Few people conversed with it. They just took it at its word, right? Like, okay, so you say this is where I go, and that was that, right? Whereas Harry was like sort of out of the culture enough that he didn't really understand when he gets up there and kind of is talking to this thing in his head that he was doing something abnormal. Most people took the sorting hat at its word, and that was that. Whereas Harry just was like, no, not this, because he was just traumatized and terrified about this. And so while you can talk to the sorting hat, it's not something that is really done very often. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it uses legitimacy, which is kind of like mind reading, to sort of look into you and see. So the choosing it yourself would be to kind of make a choice to go against your instincts, which is every bit as much part of who you are as maybe those initial instincts, right? Which is, I think,
Mhm.
why the Sorting Hat takes that into account. Because if a person can choose to buck the life that's been set out before them, a person can choose to ignore that path, can choose to ignore certain parts of their parts of their personality, tendencies.
But I think that'll put an end to this little part of the segment with it, where we talk about the precursor to Harry Potter stuff. I got my sorted stuff there of the wand and the house and the Patroner and everything. So I apparently got a rare
shot of that
triple
Patron.
head snake dude.
Yeah, Runespore. Yeah.
Yeah, Runespore.